Hi. This is episode number 3
of Reading BabbleOn, and I'm Cece.
And I'm Lisa.
And today we have our channel's first book haul. So, when was it? Thursday?
Yeah.
Thursday, we went to a library sale, and I don't know what she got, and she doesn't know what I got, so we're going to be revealing our books to each other the same time we reveal them to you. So, let's give it a shot.
You're going to kick it off? You going to go first?
Nope, you ask.
Oh. Well, the library book sale was so good to me this time. I found books that I've actually been looking for. So my first book,
I love when that happens,
is what's it called? A Sense of Evil by Kay Hooper.
Hang on, put it closer to the camera.
There we go.
There
How's
you
that?
go.
Oh, that's good. All right.
Okay, tell us about it.
Well, this is part of a series of books about an FBI squad full of psychics, and they solve really just puzzling, baffling murders while falling in love.
Wait, how many people are on the squad? Are they all falling in love?
No, they don't fall in love with each other necessarily, but sometimes there'll be a victim, if that survives, that they'll have in a relationship with, or two of them will fall in love with each other, or a suspect who is not the one that did it.
So is each book about a different member of the squad?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
Yes, they are. At the murders, if you're a murder mystery person, I think this is great for murder mystery people. It's also got the paranormal romance element. No shiny vampires. Kay Hooper, Sense of Evil. Love it.
Okay. So my first book is Empress by Shan Sa, which I read on the inside, was actually first published in France.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Okay, so this is a historical novel, and I generally do not like historical novels unless they are fictionalizations of real people.
Oh.
And this is about the only ever female emperor of China. So I'm thinking she must have been pretty badass
I've read about her. She didn't play.
The emperor of China. So I think it's just like her life story, a fictionalization of her life story and how she becomes emperor, and I guess stuff about her reign. So I imagine.
Do you want me to tell you what I learned about her?
No, but
okay.
I'm assuming she's gonna die as emperor because she's a woman. But
it's even worse after she dies.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to read this one soon then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, this is my one exception to the no historicals rule.
Oh, my book, Kay Hooper, $1.
Oh yeah, all of the books we got.
Yeah,
all the books from the library sale were $1.
$1.
So that's my first book.
Next up, I just started reading John Sanford last year. He's been around a long time. He's just new to me. It's called Naked Prey, and it's about a detective named John Flowers. Is his name John Flowers?
I don't know. I haven't read any of these.
Anyway, Mr. Flowers.
I hope it's Flowers.
The first book I read, it started out as a fairly standard murder mystery, and then everything went on to hell.
Are they supernatural?
No, not at all.
Okay.
But the people were a pack of inbreds that had started murdering one another. No, they were literally inbreds.
Yeah, these things happen.
And we come to find out how they came to be in the situation they were in slowly over time. And this is another Flowers mystery that it's going to start out on the surface being a typical murder mystery, and then we're going to see what lies behind the veil of small town life.
See, I want to read these books, but I have my thing about reading series in order.
Oh, no, but they're not written that way.
I know. I understand the theory.
No.
But, like, in later books, don't they reference things that happened to that main character in previous books?
Well, I've only read one of these, so
okay.
And I just happened to cross it, and I liked the sound of the story. I picked it up and read it.
To the series order.
I'm not.
Totally
at all.
am. So I need to start at book 1.
Good luck with that.
You suck. Okay, so my next book is something a little atypical for me, but it's Confessions of a Jane Austen Addict. And it is about a woman who is a Jane Austen addict who ends up waking up at some point in the past in Regency England and kind of living out the life of a typical Jane Austen character.
Oh, wonderful.
And I thought this would be fun because I think a lot of people romanticize that era, and so I think she's going to find out that it kind of sucked,
Yeah.
especially for women. So I think it'll be interesting to see if she remains a Jane Austen addict after her experiences.
Okay.
So I don't usually read like contemporary stuff like this, but for $1, like I always say, there's not a whole lot I won't read for $1. So I do try different things when I find them at book sales.
I am a fan of Charlene Harris, and I happen to find this at the book sale. It's a collection of short stories called Home Improvements, and it's most of the big paranormal romance writers have contributed to stories. So there's Patricia Briggs, Heather Graham, Melissa Marr, and it's all about various sorts of paranormal critters trying to do renovations.
She's done a few of these books, though. She has one
Yes.
where all the stories involve sports somehow.
Mm-hmm. And I just thought it would be fun and funny. And for $1, could it hurt me? No.
Okay. So.
Mm.
So the next book that I got at the book sale was The Girls by Emma Cline. I'm sure most of the people watching this video will have seen this book before and heard of it before. It is about a woman who like befriends, or a teenager who befriends this woman she kind of is almost like infatuated with, not realizing that the woman is part of a cult, and she kind of gets sucked in. And I think the specific cult is actually the Manson clan.
Oh.
I had no idea what this book was about when I picked it up. I'm just going to confess right now that sometimes I like to just buy books at book sales that were popular because I can get them for $1, and it's just kind of my screw you to the man. So yeah, I mean, I'm interested in the story, and I will probably read it later rather than sooner, but I will read it. But I just wanted to get it for $1 because it was selling for $27. And I find that popularity doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to enjoy it.
Exactly.
So I don't want to risk like a lot of money. So that's why I got this. But I will read it.
I believe you. Now, this book is called The Secret of Magic. It is by Deborah Johnson. And it's basically about race and the South. This person gets summoned
That is
to...
not what I would have guessed from the title.
I know, right? I know. She gets a call from... actually, no. A young Thurgood Marshall gets a call from a person in the South who is a white author. And this guy asked Thurgood Marshall help solving the murder of an activist in the 1940s in Mississippi. I was like, okay, this one's going to be a hot one. So, it originally retailed for, let's see what I can see, $26.95. Somewhere it sold for $15.99. I got it for $1. The Secret of Magic. God love that.
Had you heard of that author before?
No. Totally new to me.
I think that was like recently a digital sale on Amazon because the title was familiar to me. Okay, so this book, The Secret Speech by Tom Robb Smith. This is actually part of a trilogy, and I have book one in the trilogy. It is the Child 44 trilogy.
Oh, really?
Yes, I've seen that movie, and I actually just started the book, but I haven't finished it yet. And this is book 2 in the trilogy, which I actually did not know this was book 2 because I saw a book called Agent 6, which I thought was book 2, but that turns out it's actually book 3.
Oh.
So this is book 2. So it follows the detective from the first book who was investigating. In that book, he was investigating a series of child murders, and the whole machinery of Soviet Russia was like working against him. And still, he's got the machinery of Soviet Russia working against him. But there's also, I guess the A story is about a secret speech composed by Khrushchev that was basically going to denounce Stalin. And the speech is circulating and I guess causing all kinds of trouble. So I thought on its own it sounded interesting, but realizing that it was also part of the Child 44 series, I definitely wanted to pick it up. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I'll really enjoy Child 44, and then I might just dive right into this one.
I like to read some nonfiction, so I picked up Fiasco by Thomas Ricks. This is about the Iraq War. Basically, it starts right after the spring invasion, codenamed Cobra 2. And it sort of breaks down what happened or what our missteps were in Iraq.
So is this by a journalist or a member of the military?
It's by a journalist. He was a Pulitzer Prize winner, and he wrote also something called Making of the Corps. I like to try to understand what's happening in current events, and sometimes you have to look back a little bit in order to understand what's happening now, or to see the seeds that left us with the events and developments. So Fiasco is going to be part of my attempt to understand what's happening to us now.
Sounds kind of like a bummer, though.
A little bit. Oh, also $1. Originally retailed for $27.95.
Okay. So my last book from the book sale doesn't have Dust Jacket. I'm okay with that because I actually totally hate Dust Jackets. It's got a little bit of damage, but I'm actually okay with that too. I might just recover it myself. But it is actually, you can't tell by the cover, sorry. It is Dune by Frank Herbert. And I bought this because not only did I love the book and I love the movie, but I have like a mass market paperback copy of Dune that has seen better days. We've both read the same copy multiple times, so it's got bends and tears and it's just a mess. And I've been wanting to get a hardcover copy of Dune, and I was like, I might actually buy that at full price. I know, right? Because I really wanted it, and then I didn't have to because I got one for $1. And so it's just got a little bit of damage at the bottom, as I just consider that a little bit of love. Somebody has loved this book. But inside, the pages are in great condition. It's completely readable, and I'm so excited because I wanted to own a copy. That I plan to read it again because I want to read all of the Dune books that were written by Frank Herbert, which I think is just the first 5. I don't know about the ones his son wrote, but at least those first 5 I want to read. But I read Dune so long ago that I wanted to read this again before I jumped into the rest of the series. And I think having hardcover, it'll, hold up a little bit better. So I was so thrilled to find this for $1, even without a Dust Jacket. And for me, that was my last book sale book. And I stayed under my budget. It was $10. I only spent $5, so yay me.
Wow. Well, I've got another one.
Oh, no.
I did really well. You know what? She usually gets more books at the book sales than I do. And this time, I just found some wonderful stuff. This is called Her Fearful Symmetry. I picked it up because of the title at first, because I love that poem. This is by Audrey Niffenegger. Wow. Audrey Niffenegger. She wrote The Time Traveler's Wife. This one is about...
It's like twins, and they live in
Yes,
England.
this is about twins who move into their dead aunt's haunted apartment.
Yeah.
You have that?
I have
it. She has all the books. If anybody wants an extra copy, a copy of Her Fearful Symmetry by Audrey Niffenegger, drop us a line.
Okay, so this will be our first giveaway. Just leave a comment and we'll pick someone at random to win.
We'll send you the book because we have a copy already.
because now we have to.
Now we have to.
See, this is one of the dangers of not shopping together and letting
Yes.
each other know what we got. These things will happen sometimes.
Okay, so this is my last book sale book, library sale book, and I'm totally excited about this book because I wanted this book when it first came out. It's Hot, Flat, and Crowded.
Oh, I wanted to read that too.
Yep. This is basically about how the world is getting hot, flat, and crowded, and that is the global warming and the rise of the middle class all over the world and rapid population growth are converging in such a way to make our world unstable. And I think we're all seeing the result of that now.
See, when I go to the sales, I have to confess, I almost never even go to the nonfiction section, so I never would have found that. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, and I found it for $1. And this
And
was
it's like in really good condition. I think
Yeah.
someone bought it, read it once, and then donated
and
it.
move on. Yeah, it's in excellent condition. Because I'm terrible. I buy lots of used books, but I won't buy a used book that's damaged in any way.
I'll buy books with damage. I won't buy books with stains. The stains creep me out.
Yes.
And every once in a while, you come across a book, and I know it's silly, but with like a hair sticking out of it. And I can't do the hairs. So I will put the book back, even though, like, I guess in theory you could just pull the hair out and buy the book.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because there was something I picked up at this sale that I wanted, but there was a big long hair sticking out of it. I was like, oh.
No.
So, yeah, stains and hairs, but damage is fine. A little bit of damage is fine.
Originally $27.95. I got it for a whopping $1.
So, in addition to our book sale shopping, we do make the occasional trip. By occasional, I mean often. We make trips to various Dollar Tree stores in our area because they sell books.
They sell books, yeah.
And all those books are, you guessed it, $1.
$1.
So we each got some books from Dollar Tree this month, so we'll go over those too. And let's see. My first one is called Jago by Kim Newman. This is the author of Anno Dracula.
Oh, yes.
This is actually a reprinting. This book, I think, is originally from 1993 or something. And I really hate when publishers, reprint in 1991. They, like, you don't know when you look at this that this is a reprint. And they're going to try to make you pay full price for something that is, like, really, really old. And there's a sticker, so I think the original price for this would have been $15.99. And I paid $1. But it is about some sort of town in England, the village of Alder, where, I don't know, monsters are coming to life and the rules of science are breaking down. And these two people who unfortunately had gone to summer there, I guess expecting a peaceful vacation or something, and that's not what they find. Oh no, actually Paul is a young academic composing a thesis about the end of the world, and his girlfriend is a potter. Not sure how those two things play out in the story, but this one, I don't know when I'm going to get to it because it is humongous. But the story was interesting enough that for $1, why the hell not?
At the Dollar Tree, I got something called Baba Yaga by Toby Barlow. I've always liked mythology, so a title that has the name of a mythological character in it would always attract my attention.
And I picked that up so many times in Dollar Tree, and I never actually bought it, so I'm glad you bought it, because now I can read it too.
And this is kind of a jumbled sort of book. It's a murder mystery. It's supernatural. So there is someone who's been murdering witches. And you have people who are part of the machinery of spying. You have police investigators investigating this issue. I'm not sure where this story is going to go, but I'm curious to find out.
Okay, so I got Acacia by David Anthony Durham. And this is another book that I'd seen at Dollar Tree a few times and didn't pick it up because it is a first in series, and I guess I'm frustrated with series. I definitely prefer a standalone book. And I didn't know if I wanted to get involved in another series, especially because after buying book 1 for $1, it's not like I'm going to want to pay more for books 2 and 3. But I don't know, the story sounds really, really interesting. It takes place in some sort of fantasy world where basically these people are invaded by a group called a race called the Mean, and the king is killed, and he takes steps to try to protect his children during the invasion, and he sends them off, I think, to different places, maybe? Yeah, he sends them off to different places, and I guess we're going to be following what happens to his children after the invasion. I think it sounds really cool, but I don't even know how many books are in this series, so there's always the hope that maybe I won't be into it, and then I can let go of the other books, but if not, I don't know. I'm going to have to try to find them cheap.
My last Dollar Tree book is something called Cabal. No, it's not.
No. It's called Johannes Cabal.
Excuse me. Johannes Cabal. Johann Cabal and the Fear Institute. This is about a necromancer who travels to the land of dreams to try to destroy the source of all nightmares. And the line in the description that got me was this: Cabal will encounter witches, vile abominations, and far too many zebras. I had to know.
Okay, fair enough. I will give you that one because I'm curious about the zebras myself. Okay, fair enough. And I actually have 2 books left from Dollar Tree. One I'm so excited about. It's Black Moon by Kenneth Calhoun. And I'm excited about this for 2 reasons. One, so this is a story about a global epidemic of insomnia.
Ooh.
And I actually have another book about a global epidemic of insomnia called Sleepless. And I wanted to read both of those stories back to back to just see how they both played with that theme. But I also saw this on Book Outlet during their last sale, the Boxing Day sale.
Yeah.
And I ended up taking it out of my cart because I was spending too much money and had to chop down that total. So I did not get this book, and then I found it at Dollar Tree, and so now I have my book for $1, and I'm super excited, and I can't wait to read it. And I really like this cover. I love how the title is written. I don't know, it's just very eye-catching. So, yeah. And then the last book is actually another book that I'd seen on Book Outlet, and then I ended up finding it at Dollar Tree. I bought both of these at the same time. Found them at the same Dollar Tree, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my gosh, that's right out of my shopping cart. Okay, so this is called Enigma of China, and I am so sorry, but I am not going to try to say the author's name because I don't speak any Chinese at all. But it's part of a series about a character named Inspector Chen. And usually, I am reluctant to jump into a series well into it. But again, it's like the John Sanford series. They're probably not dependent upon one another. One thing I'm not sure about if this is set, if it's contemporary or if this is set at some point in the past. Because it sounds like it could be set in the past. I don't know. But it's about a guy named Inspector Chen who investigates murders and, again, has the whole communist machinery kind of opposing him during his investigations, much like the Child 44 series. And it's very short. It looks like it's about maybe 300 pages, a little less than 300 pages, so it'll be very quick to find out whether or not I'm interested in any more books in this series. But again, it's just another book that I'd seen once, didn't get it, and then found it later. I love when that happens.
I got a book today. I have been wanting this book since it came out. It is The Knitted Cable Source Book by Nora Gone. And I've been looking at it on Amazon. I looked at it, at the bookstore, and it's $30. It's $29.95. Well, they had a single copy today at Joann's. I had a 50% off coupon, so I ended up getting it for $16 including tax. I am so thrilled with this.
So are you going to be using cables in the sweater you're making?
I don't know. Well, you know what? I'm about to make my first sweater, And I don't know how complicated I want it to be, but I will be knitting some swatches. Learning how to do various cables, and I might incorporate cables into my second sweater.
So you're designing the sweater too? You're not just following a pattern?
I'm following a recipe.
Okay.
You know what? It turns out that although I'm not like you and Mom, I don't say I can't follow patterns. I don't like to follow patterns.
I exclusively follow patterns.
I go either way.
So why did you want like this particular cable book as opposed to any other cable book?
Well, it's very structured, and she has a whole method.
Nice.
I know the swatches are just...
Show that.
The swatches in the book are just beautiful. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them.
Can you see? Ah, yeah. There you go.
And she has something she calls a stitch equivalent system. And that's a way she's come up with to help you determine how you can work various types of cables together. You ever see a sweater that has like what looks like a million cables, and one just flows into the next?
Yeah, that sounds
she has a
really
system
complicated.
For that. She has a system for that, and that way you can design your cables the way you want them to be.
I took a class in crochet cables, and I have not cabled since. I find it very complicated, but I know I think about cables.
Knitting cables are really simple, though.
If you say so. Knitting isn't simple, but okay.
We're not even going to have that discussion. That's a different podcast.
So I think I got, hold on, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I got 9 books for $9. It's not everything I got this month because I bought some digital books and stuff,
Yeah.
but for what I showed today, I paid a whopping $9, which is great.
Yeah, and I think today my total is, let me see, that was 7. I had 2 from Dollar Tree. That's 9. My total is a little higher because I had that $16 book.
Yeah.
So what's 9 and
But
16?
$27.
$27 for the month. So that would have been the price of any one of those
25.
books.
Oops.
Close enough. $25
We can do
for
math,
the
I
month.
promise. But nonfiction is always going to be harder to get cheap.
Not at the library sale.
Non-
They usually have scads of nonfiction.
But if you want like a particular book, yeah.
Well, you know what it
Nonfiction
is?
will always blow your budget.
But you know what? We have you have the generalized list that you keep in your head.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see one, you're like, yes. Yes.
So, I guess that's it.
I think
it.
we're done.
That's our first haul. And our first video under 45 minutes. So, yay.
Go us. High five.
Okay, so thanks for watching and
Thank you.
bye.
Oh, by the way,
wait.
don't forget, leave us a comment. And
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
send you out our extra copy of
Her Fearful Symmetry.
Her Fearful Symmetry.
And how long are we going to keep the contest open?
Let's keep it open until March.
Well, March is like next week.
Oh, well.
In 1 week or 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay, so for 2 weeks, comment on this video, and 2 weeks from now, we reveal who wins Her Fearful Symmetry.
Woohoo.
Okay, so can we say goodbye for
Yes,
real?
we can.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.